Isaiah began talking to someone who wasn't there. It started the next morning. Olivia found him in the backyard, sitting cross-legged on the stone path near the herb garden, head tilted like he was listening. His little lips moved as if repeating a lesson. When she called to him, he didn't even flinch. She had to touch his shoulder. "Who were you talking to, baby?" He smiled like it was the most natural thing in the world. The lady in the white dress. Olivia crouched beside him. "What's her name?" He shrugged. She said names are for the living. Inside the house, the hum had grown stronger. It wasn't constant. It came in pulses now, like a heartbeat. At times, the air vibrated just enough to rattle picture frames or make the lights dim for a breath. The new appliances flickered, whispered static through smart speakers. Marcus ran a diagnostic on the electrical. "House is fine," he said. "Better than fine. Panels clean, voltage stable, no leaks. You know the thing about the wiring?" He sighed, weary. "Then what is it?" Olivia held up the page from the crawl space. "It's a record." Marcus rubbed his eyes. "A record of what, Liv?" "Of the house. Of what the land had seen. Of who had bled into its roots." Ania's vision came 3 days later. She was in her room, lying across the bed listening to jazz, something she'd only recently started liking, because it reminded her of her grandfather's scratchy records, when the hum overtook the music. This time, it didn't just buzz in her ears. It took her. She blinked, and the room was gone. She stood in the same house, but it was smaller, dimmer. The walls were bare wood. Smoke from a wood-burning stove drifted through the air. Outside the window, trees stood where the manicured lawn now stretched. She turned and saw them, a man and woman, brown skin, sweat-soaked, with hands like cracked earth. The woman sang as she stirred something in a pot. The man carved symbols into the floor. Their eyes held sorrow, but also power. The woman looked up directly at Ania. "You came back," she whispered. Ania fell backward. She hit the bed hard, like waking from a dream. She gasped for air, sweat slicking her neck. She ran straight to her mother. "They were here, Mom, before us." Olivia looked into her daughter's wide, frightened eyes. "We know," she said softly. That night, they all gathered in the study. Even Marcus, especially Marcus. Olivia laid the bundle, the shoe, and the page on the floor. Isaiah sat in her lap, holding her hand. Ania watched the shadows. Marcus stood with his arms crossed. "I still don't know what y'all expect to find." "I don't know either," Olivia said. "But I know this house was built on something old, something real, and it wants us to remember." Ania stood. "I saw them, a family. This place was theirs." "Slaves?" Marcus asked quietly. Olivia shook her head. "I don't think so. Something older. Free folk. Root workers, maybe. Healers." Isaiah tugged Olivia's sleeve. "The lady said this house was the last place they were together. The family?" He nodded. "They were hunted, burned out, but one of them stayed behind." "Why?" Isaiah blinked. "To wait." Olivia didn't sleep that night. None of them did. The house pulsed with energy, soft but persistent, like a choir just behind the veil, warming up for a song that had waited too long to be sung. At 3:07 a.m., the lights in the hallway flickered. The bookshelf in the study creaked open by itself. And from the crawl space came the soft sound of humming. Not electricity, a voice. Olivia went in alone. The crawl space seemed larger this time, deeper, as if the house had grown around it. She crawled forward slowly, palms pressing into dust that felt like ash. And there, at the far end, the wall pulsed with warmth. She placed her hand on the wood and saw everything. A woman in a white dress standing over a grave, a child coughing into rags, a circle of hands linked in prayer beneath moonlight, a tree marked with blood. The wall whispered, We are the ones who sang when they silenced us. We are the ones who stayed when they scattered us. We are the ones who built this with what they could not take. Olivia wept, not in fear, but in recognition. This was legacy. This was memory held in timber and stone. And now it was hers. She emerged at dawn, eyes red, mouth silent. Marcus met her in the hallway. "You okay?" "No," she whispered. "But I understand now." "Understand what?" She touched his chest. "This house is a sanctuary, but sanctuaries have to be kept." "What does that mean?" "It means we're not just owners, we're keepers." He stared at her for a long time, then nodded once. "Okay."